We are live. Here we go again, for another week. Welcome to the Supplement Engineer channel. My name is Robert Chinetsky. I'm joined by my lovely wife, Sandy, and we are here to banter with you on all topics: fitness, nutrition, supplementation, 80s movies, how bad 90s movies are compared to 80s action movies.
You're going to keep going over that?
I am.
90s movies rock.
So as usual, guys, thank you for joining us. As always, feel free to post up any comments, questions in the comments section below. Let us know where you're from, what topics you want us to talk about. If you like Sandy's hair, if you want me to change
we
my
home
hat,
cut it.
we did. I'm getting exceeding proficient at home haircuts. It's crazy. I think I might quit supplementation altogether.
There you go, bud.
And just take up haircutting. You know, be a professional cosmetologist.
You could instruct people while you cut hair about their fitness and supplementation needs.
I could. Well,
it's like a twofer.
That's an interesting thing you just said there. You said supplementation needs.
Oh, there we go. Let's start the topic strong. Let's talk about it.
By definition, supplement is something that is
not a need.
Right. It is supplemental.
Supplemental.
Otherwise, it would be called an essential.
It's like an oxymoron.
So that's what
supplemental need doesn't exist.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, if you have some kind of clinical deficiency in a vitamin like vitamin D or magnesium or something like that, then obviously that your supplement becomes an essential because you're not getting it from your diet, your lifestyle, whatever, what have you. Which brings me to an interesting point that I guess we can start things off with this
week. Conversation you had with some people, like you've had people ask you questions.
Yeah,
you consult.
I do consultations. You know, I'll do supplement consultations. I'll also do training and nutrition consultations. Or I'll do a little bit of training here on the side. I don't advertise that a whole lot, but
if you're interested, you can get some one-on-one time with the supplement engineer.
Sure. And so one of the questions I get when I was setting this guy up with his training program and his diet, he says, all right, so I said, here's some of the macros that we need to, let's eat this much protein, let's go in for this many carbs, this many total calories, all that good stuff. So here's your training program. And, first question was, well, what I'm dealing with, should I take probiotics? Because, probiotics, gut health is a huge thing right now. Everybody wants to know what probiotics they should be taking. I said, really? The science on probiotics isn't really all that convincing for like the average person. We're still just beginning to scratch the surface on what. And so everything you eat on a day-to-day basis will impact your gut microbiome. So if you go and take one of those poop tests, it'll show a makeup of some of your gut bacteria. But if you drastically change your diet from one week to the next, it's going to do that. And I'm still not convinced that those tests are reliable enough to say, well, maybe you shouldn't eat nightshades. Maybe you shouldn't eat tomatoes. But what if you grew up your entire life eating marinara sauce or salsa or just tomatoes in like pizza or something?
Yeah, out of nowhere, someone's telling you something's bad.
When you've never had an adverse reaction to it whatsoever.
What is it? Yeah.
So, for probiotics, there are certain cases, like if you have SIBO, if you have IBS, IBD, in certain situations like that, if you're coming back from a course of really aggressive broad-spectrum antibiotics that wipes out your entire gut bacteria, repopulating with some probiotics or eating some prebiotic foods would be a good idea. But I think if you're just starting out in your weight loss journey, I don't think you really need to worry about probiotics. Especially the other thing is that, if you say, hey, eat enough fiber, that may help start to get your gut feeling a little bit better because, a couple of people have said, well, something will bother my gut, after I eat this or I drink too much or I have dairy. And well, that first thing that jumps to my mind is you don't need a probiotic. You don't need any other kind of supplement. You just need to clean up your shitty diet is what you need to do.
Or, like you said,
add fiber to it.
Eat more fiber, to which a question was asked.
What fiber supplement should I take? And I'm just, at this point, I'm thinking,
do I need a fiber supplement, Robert? What should I do?
Eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. I mean,
just eat more food that naturally has fiber in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about something unless you've got some serious issues, and then you can worry about mixing up some Metamucil or something like that. But man, the average person that's just looking to get in shape, clean up their diet, get healthier, remove all the shit from your diet. I'm not saying you have to completely eliminate sugar, completely eliminate alcohol, dairy, all that other bullshit. You don't have to do any of that fad stuff.
Yeah, because the way you just said it made it sound like someone needs to they're not allowed to eat a cupcake or they're not allowed to eat ice cream. And I know that you don't feel that way.
No.
You feel like moderation is best.
Yeah, you can definitely have a scoop of ice cream a day and still lose weight. You could have a beer a day and lose weight. The issue is that, are you content with that one beer, or is that one beer going to make you spiral down and need to have 6, or is it going to make you so hungry and,
eat the nachos.
Correct. Make you crave really hyper palatable, high caloric, high fat, high sugar food.
Yeah.
So if you have enough personal restraint to where you can still have those indulgences daily or once a week, go for it.
Like this guy right here.
Which brings us to the next thing. So what are you sipping there?
Okay, so I'm really excited because if you guys have been paying attention, I love Zubroka apple vodka. And so one thing, I can't believe I was so excited I thought of the drink. Anytime I'm on an airplane and they're like, ma'am, what would you like to drink? I usually get crayon apple. What? This tastes just like apple juice. Great idea. How about I drink some cranberry juice mixed with my apple vodka? And it's delicious. So that's what I'm drinking right now. In moderation. Thank you, Robert.
The unfortunate news is that we have now killed off the Zubroka apple vodka. We had
I drank it all.
maybe a month. And
it's a shame.
It killed off. It got killed quick.
Yeah, it's really good.
But you're drinking it out of your little
okay, also, if you are watching, this is a great glass. It's a Blanche du Brussels glass, which matches, if you can see, the picture with the statue behind us. Now, if you're curious, we'll pull it up so you can see it. There's a story behind this.
Tap that you would get from.
For those of you listening, it's a little naked man peeing. Blanche de Brussels, right there. So let me tell you the story of how I got introduced to this little naked man peeing, which is apparently a statue in Brussels. I went to this bar, I guess it was a bar in Louisiana.
Yeah, in Manville.
It's across the lake from New Orleans. And I had just started drinking. I mean, in college, I drank beer, but could we call it beer?
It's like
when
Natty
you're playing
Light,
beer
Miller High
pong,
Life.
you're not really like going for the good stuff. You're going for the cheap stuff. So anyways, I go to this bar and I'm not really a beer drinker, but I want to try a fancy beer. And so I tell the bartender, hi bartender, do you have anything that tastes like Michelob Ultra? I'm not really into beer, but that's what I usually drink. And he looks at me and then I see him get a glass and pull the tab of a little naked man peeing. And I think, oh, tap? Is it a tap? Okay. Pull the tap of a little naked man peeing. And I think to myself, is this going to taste like pee? I don't want to taste pea beer, but it's delicious. And it's Blanche de Brussels. And I learned that this is a statue in Brussels that they actually decorate and people will come to take pictures of. But Blanche de Brussels is an amazing Belgian beer and it's delicious. And when a local bar that we like closed down, they gave us that tap.
Tap. Yes, the tap.
The tap.
Because I know
because they know it's my favorite, and this is the glass it's supposed to be drunk in. But I'm drinking crayon apple instead. It's fine.
Yeah, is that a little bit of heresy? Drinking a alcoholic?
Oh, it's a really pretty glass.
Liquor from a beer
I don't really
vessel?
think. That's a really good question.
We need to get like a mixologist.
Yeah, we need to get somebody who knows what they're talking about. If I'm not allowed to drink alcohol from a beer glass, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right.
What role do you think? All right. So last week we had a question that says, what makes a good marriage, or why are you like, why are y'all the happy couple or something like that? What role does alcohol play in making a happy marriage?
That's a really good question. I think as long as the two people are on the same page, have at it, right? Like, but if you really didn't like to drink and I did, I think that would be an issue. So I think it needs to be people on the same page.
Yeah.
But,
or if it turns you into an abusive douchebag, then
yeah. But I think alcohol is good because, as we've said before, you say the more you drink,
the better looking you get.
And I say keep drinking. Because I want to keep looking good, you know what I'm saying? So if I look good when you drink, keep drinking, baby.
Well, and it makes me more productive too.
That's the weird thing. So talk about the study that you said about alcohol in some minds.
Well, I haven't read the actual study. It was something somebody relayed to me when I was talking to Chris Waldron when I was doing the podcast with him last week over at Inspired Nutraceuticals, and he has a beverage in the afternoon sometimes when he's trying to
alcoholic
free his mind and get the creative juices flowing, because he does a lot of graphic design stuff in addition to running a very successful supplement company and doing the labels and creating all that stuff with it. Says, I'll have some tequila or some vodka or some bourbon in the afternoon. And he said, I don't know if you listened to, it was something on Joe Rogan's podcast was talking about that alcohol for most people, it's depressing.
Yeah.
It's inhibitory thing. It makes them so.
You can't think clearly, potentially.
Right. In a select subset of people, it actually increases their productivity, makes them more energized, more not successful, but more,
productive.
With it.
Yeah.
Energized and everything.
Yeah.
Which I found strange, but I'm thinking maybe that works in the right circumstances.
When Robert wants to get good at writing, when he's ready to get in the writing zone, he'll make himself an old fashioned. He'll drink some bourbon. And I gotta be honest, it helps him. Like he writes and he sees the world clearly, and it's fascinating to me.
I'm going to put a caveat to that. It depends on the topic. So, for several years now, I've been writing for a various number of companies, and some companies want very scientific articles,
Yeah.
very deep dives into ingredient, things like that, you know, getting into like the physiology of
The actual
human beings.
science studies.
And in those instances, I'm taking a nootropic. I'm not taking bourbon or anything. Like I need to be super sharp mentally. And then every now and then you get some of these topics like how to lose belly fat, 5 exercises to add to your chest workout. I mean, all the stuff that's like on every bodybuilding site, every fitness site you've ever seen. It's something, it's like the low-hanging fruits that every
That's what he
person
calls low-hanging.
jumping into the fitness sphere is searching for. So when you're in that state, I mean, there's a certain part of my brain that I just need to shut down, because I'm thinking to myself, I've written about this so many times. There's already a billion other articles out there. You know, what is this article going to do? Is this really going to add to anybody's benefit, or is it just adding more noise, and people are going to have to struggle through that noise to get to a stronger signal?
That's interesting.
Kind of thing. So
alcohol helps you write those things. Right.
When I get into that situation, I need to shut off the logical part of my brain, the one that's questioning everything and doing all this, and just get into what are the important points that people need to understand? What do you need to do to either lose fat, build muscle? What exercise things, you know, what form cues should you be looking for? What exercises are going to best emphasize a certain muscle group? You're not going to target a muscle or anything like that, or, you know, target like the upper inner aspect of your chest or some shit like that, like you'll see on some sites. Sure, certain exercises will emphasize different regions of a muscle, but the whole muscle is still being recruited. It's just to which degree is what aspect of that muscle being involved in. If you're doing like an isolation exercise and like a pec fly, or, you know, like a dumbbell fly or something like that. So that's where.
But you said some people react differently to alcohol.
Correct. Yeah. So some people will be, you know, it'll make them unmotivated, not clearly,
mostly,
not thinking
most
clearly.
people is like that.
Most people,
but some people is like you, and it makes you more productive.
Yeah. In those certain cases. So like I said earlier, if I'm doing like a super deep dive, heavy reading, or if I'm reading a bunch of journal articles or something, doing some R&D work for a formula or something, I'm not drinking. That's stuff's far away. I'm either on a nootropic or just doing nothing.
So it's when you have to write articles that you feel like you've written before that you need to drink.
Yeah, that, or just some kind of like fluff piece, fluff kind of work.
I like how you're calling it a fluff piece. You know, you get paid for that, and then these people read it. I feel like you're kind of dissing what you do simultaneously.
No, I mean, it's part of playing the game. That's the way the fitness industry is.
You just did it again. I feel like you're doing it again. That's interesting. I didn't actually know. I'm glad we had this conversation, because I didn't know that's how you felt about it. I just knew he had to drink sometimes to write certain articles. I didn't know why, but now I know why.
Well, I feel like a lot of these topics have been covered before. So, you know, rewriting it over and over again, I think because a lot of sites will have full blog sections built up of tons and tons of articles.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what is the average consumer?
Is it wasting your time? That's why you have to drink?
No. Is the average consumer going to flip through 15 pages of blogs on a company's website to see if we've already discussed what's the most effective chest workout for building muscle?
So I just want to confirm. So you're saying that sometimes you write an article that you've already written for the same company so that it's newer and that somebody will look at it, as opposed to the person going and like looking through a history of. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or it's putting a different spin on the same topic. But all the major fitness websites do this. You go on bodybuilding.com, you type chest workout, there's 4,000 different chest articles.
And they're not going to search through them all. They're going to go to the first one.
Yeah, they're going to go, what's the most top one? And so, and most of the time, I still don't think most consumers actually go onto a company's website and actually click on the blog section. The way they're getting to these articles is that they're getting a newsletter from the supplement company. It's landing in their inbox. And they'll say, hey, here's our new leg workout program. And they'll click that little link inside their email inbox. And then
everything's waiting for them.
Right.
But it's got to be fresh and new.
Right. And so then there's little drops placed in those articles saying, hey, if you want to.
Like a hyperlink.
Yeah. Accelerate your workout progress, improve recovery, click here. And it'll take you, you know, it's a funnel. So you read the article, you get the information, you get the good information there. Then it takes you to go buy their supplements. And so it's kind of a funnel in to do all of that kind of stuff.
Thank you for giving us the inside track to bodybuilding.com. Like all the other
That's every
sites.
fitness website. Anybody that's done content marketing, email marketing, sales funnel pages and things like that, this is nothing new to them.
All right. Well, now we know that that you kind of outed yourself, I almost feel like, because when the companies pay you, they're paying you to drink is what they're doing. That's what they're doing, really. They're just paying you to have a good time.
Well,
it's a win-win for everyone.
Right.
They get their article.
They get great content.
You get your alcohol.
I get my bourbon. I get to
all good.
You know, live in a house. Get to stay married to you. Send the halfling to daycare so we can actually get work done during the day and all that.
That is important. I'm not gonna lie.
So, yeah, but I feel like it's in moderation, and it's not every day.
Okay, wait. So I think that's important. Let's go back to that for a second. Yeah. The moderation thing. We were talking. We go on a walk every single morning. We do like a 5,000 step walk. I only know that because my Fitbit tells me. Oh yeah, and that's taped because it ripped. What kind of a Fitbit rips? Whatever.
Just to be clear, you do have a replacement Fitbit. You just haven't activated it yet.
It takes time to reactivate those things. I don't deal with that. So I'd rather complain and just use tape. While we're walking, we have a tendency to talk a lot about people that ask for your advice or people that I see doing things on like a layman's term side, like people who don't have access to you. And we talk about how people overcomplicate things that we think are going to be so simple. So I'm a math teacher and I equated it to if somebody wanted to add 4 and 4, it's like them saying, okay, so I could do 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. And I say, yeah. Or you could just do 4 plus 4 is 8. They're like, yeah, but I heard I should do 2 plus 1 plus 1. I'm like, I feel like you're overcomplicating it. If every time you want to add 4 and 4, you're going to do 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, okay, you're going to get the right answer, but it's weird. And I feel like with diets, people will ask you and they're like, okay, so I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this, but I don't do that. And you're going, yeah, I feel like you could make it simpler. But you said, for some reason, people tend to gravitate toward the more complicated diets. It's like it makes them feel like they're doing it right instead of just eating healthy or because staying in a calorie range or whatever.
It's almost too simple to say, eat less, move more. It's so stupidly simple that it can't work. So if I go and then eliminate gluten and lectins and legumes.
And drink a lot of vinegar. I've heard that one a lot. I don't know why you're doing that.
And drink a warm glass of lemon water in the morning. And then lick my finger and then stick it up my butt and swirl around 3 times. And
but I heard it works.
It makes you drop fat like that.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta do that.
If I take this one supplement, I'm gonna erase the 15 years of shitty training and finally start to build muscle.
Right.
And I think it's just based in human nature of that you're always looking for whatever the next best thing is. It's not, I'm doing what's working. I've got some progress. Yeah. Instead of just staying the course and be in work what's been working for you consistently, you got to think, oh, well, maybe there's something new. Maybe, there's new something.
Was it like FOMO, like the fear of missing out? Like somebody else is doing this thing and I got to do that thing?
Right.
I don't know. Well, it's kind of like when we were talking about like, I don't know, like the relationship thing. Mm-hmm. Like,
I'm always looking for a better wife.
So like I was talking about how if they have these things like relationship quizzes, like in magazines or online. It's like, are you in a good relationship? I was like, I'd love to make a quiz for that because the answer, no matter how you respond, would always be no. Because if you're taking a quiz to see if you're in a good relationship, the answer is you're not in a good relationship. Just so we're clear, if you're like, oh, I should take a quiz to see if I'm in a good job, you're not. Hands down, if you're taking a quiz to verify, you not. Done. Like, and so when people are trying to do like, is this a good diet? Is this a good diet? I'm like, answer no. It's not, because you're trying to figure out if it's good. What was it? Wait, we were talking about if somebody was concerned if a nootropic was working, it's like, well, how do I test to see if it's working? It's like, well, are you doing well?
Yeah.
Are you focused?
Yeah, I've gotten a few
Then I guess
questions.
It's working. I don't know what to tell you. There's no tests.
Since starting up the consults and stuff with people trying to help them like refine their nootropic stack and stuff.
But I think
like
it's misinformation out there.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. I'm saying
so important.
They've been led to believe that, or they're under the guise that I need to take a test to see if something's working instead of just, being introspective, being present, being mindful and thinking how's my mental performance? How's my mood? How's my focus? How's my attention? How productive am I? Or what, do I feel overstimulated? Am I constantly like clicking back and forth between web pages? Am I stressed? Am I getting more shit done during the day? If I'm not, it might be that your nootropic stack sucks. It also might be that you slept like shit and you're eating like crap and you're not doing enough physical activity either. That can all factor into it. So whenever I'm doing, an assessment or a consultation with somebody, we always start at the very beginning. How's your sleep? What are you eating? Are you exercising? Are you very overweight or not? And all of that.
Okay, I gotta ask though. For me, I feel like lifestyle. Okay, like I guess holistic, is that what they're called? I don't know. Yeah. I think that lifestyle is really important if you're consulting with someone.
It's like a huge factor in it.
Are you happy in life? Because I think that if you're happy in life, then you're the prime person to take supplements because you're already doing everything well, and now you can just improve. I think it's supposed to fill in the gaps, but it's not supposed to fix something that's inherently flawed, right? Like if you build your house on sand, it's like, well, how can I steady it? It's like, get off the sand, and so it's weird though, because I feel like you and I took a big gamble years ago in 2015, where I quit my teaching job to go up to Michigan, and you quit your engineering job to make $1,000 a month. And I don't think most people would do that. I think they feel like that's not, but we needed to to get our lives right, because I had high stress. And remember, I had blood pressure at, what's a normal blood pressure?
120 over 80.
120 over 80 is a normal blood pressure. When I took my blood pressure, I would be at 160 over 99. Always. I was like, that's not good.
It's a public education for you.
Well, I was stressed. And so I quit my job because it was just working as a public school teacher. It was way too hard for me. And it took a year for my blood pressure to go back down to normal. Mm. But in order to do it, I didn't take medicine. I didn't take anti-anxiety pills. I got out of the job that was causing me anxiety. But I know that as a consultant, you can't tell someone, well, you should quit your job. You should divorce your wife. Like, I mean, you can't tell someone how to live their life, but then you kind of want to tell someone to change their life.
That's actually going to be useful advice. It's not really.
A pill ain't gonna make you happy if that's what you're going for. But like at the same time, I have a happy life, but there are times where I do get, like, I take Genius Joy. I think we mentioned that last time. I love Genius Joy. So I was angry on Friday.
Sunday.
I was in a bad mood Friday and Saturday, and it wasn't until Sunday that I was like, everything's bothering me. He said, why don't you take Genius Joy? I said, yes, thank you. I took it, and then it's like if I bumped my knee on the table, I wasn't like with curse words coming out. I was just, ooh, my knee. Ouch, that hurts. So I think it changes the way I react to things. It doesn't change my life, but like it
Yeah, improves your ability to perceive, interact, and recover from stressors.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm feeling the Zubroka.
Are you?
I am. I feel good.
Well, the good thing is we found regular Zubroka here at our local liquor market.
In America.
Regular unflavored Zubroka. So the Zubroka that's in there is the apple flavored one. So the unflavored one
has yet to be tasted.
No, we'll crack that open.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm hungry. You gave me food to try.
I did. So a couple weeks ago, we had there was a deal on fitnessdealnews.com, TJ's site, saying, hey, buy a box of 12 Gatorade protein bars for like $8 or $10. And so anytime I see a protein bar for less than $1,
that's his rule.
I'm going to buy it.
He's going to buy a protein bar for less than $1.
Less than $1. I mean, what am I going to lose? $8?
Taste buds. You going to lose taste buds. They're nasty.
So in part of that order, so we had the regular Gatorade protein bars that came in.
Do we really want to call them protein bars? I don't even know what to call them.
Compressed
pops. Poop. Compressed poop mixed with hay.
Well, as part of that, they also incorrectly, so the people at the Amazon shipping fulfillment center sent the wrong bar. So we also have one of the other Gatorade bars.
He wanted to buy the nasty bar. I can't believe he wanted to buy more of those. That's crazy. But they sent us apparently a good one. They apparently sent us a good one. So this one is 20 grams of protein, but how many calories is it? It is, all right, so this is their Gatorade Recover Bar. So obviously a recovery, something that's slanted more towards recovery is intended to be used in the post-workout training window. It's like a meal. When you want like a meal replacement. Well, it's gonna be higher carbohydrate too. It's probably gonna taste better because it's higher carbs, so we can put some sugar in there, make that thing taste good. So we got 350 calories, 11 grams of fat. That's a lot of calories. We've got 42 grams of carbohydrates, 20 grams of protein, less than 1 gram of fiber. And the ingredients list is like 1.5 miles. I'm gonna time out. So it's 350 calories for 20 grams of protein. Yes. But SinFits are 350 calories for 30 grams of protein. So SinFit wins, but I'll go ahead and try this. Well, the reason is this is higher carb than the because it's Recover. Right. Okay. So here we go. This is the chocolate pretzel flavor. That sounds good. And I'm willing to give it a try because it's a mistake. And it's not the one that was cheap. No, right? There are a ton of, we got it for free. So we got it for free, really. I told them, I said, you sent me the wrong one. And they said, oh, well, here, we're going to send you another box for free, no charge. The ingredients list is really long. It's got all kinds of flavorings and stuff. The other ones, I guess, are more natural. So, all right. Oh, I can smell the pretzel as soon as I open it. Right, so yeah. Okay, can I just say for the record that I love me some pretzels. I like the hard ones and the soft ones. And I really like the ones in the tub from Sam's with the peanut butter inside. Super artificial tasting, but delicious. I love it. It smells good. I hope I like it. I'm hungry, y'all. You know what? Wait. Hold on. I like it, but there's like a back end. What is that? What is that? Okay. For reference, the ones that we did a couple weeks ago, and the review of this is up on the channel, is this Gatorade whey protein with almond butter. On that. How much do you think about that? There's something weird. It's like a smokiness, but it's like a lot of smokiness. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot of smokiness. I'm sorry. What is that? When I wash it out with my cranberry apple vodka, it's pretty good after.
I don't get it. I don't get smoky flavor.
You don't, what do you get? What is that? Okay, so
I don't know. It just doesn't, there's not much, it's a bunch of these little crispy things in there.
Okay, so the
pretzels.
texture reminds me of those O-Snap.
Yeah, the O-Snap
I
bars,
love the
Rice Krispie
O-Snap
bars.
Rice Krispie bar things, and they taste good, by the way. I don't want to take another bite. They're fine. They're not nasty, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they're just not very enjoyable.
There's not a lot of chocolate, right? So it's just the chocolate coating. But the inside, I get the pretzel, but there's like a...
It's just kind of dry and crumbly on the inside and crunchy. It's just not, it's not very satisfying.
Something in there.
I mean, there's far worse.
Yeah, but there's like a...
Yeah, it's just...
It coats your... Like, okay, so when you're done and you swallow, your mouth is left with this like... of something that to me tastes like smoky.
Yeah.
And I don't like smoky. Funny story, I had a smoked beer and I didn't like it.
It's gross.
Because it tastes like someone blew smoke in my mouth after I drank a beer, because that's what smoked beer tastes like. This kind of tastes smoky to me.
There's our boy Lucas with the apple vodka, the Zubroka.
Zubroka! Okay, what is he saying? Okay, I will try some EU Bear Bells.
Bearbells. Yeah.
Oteen, Oat King. That sounds good.
Yeah, apparently the U.S. is way behind on the functional foods category. Our bars
Really?
are severely lacking compared to what's over in Europe.
Why? Why are you behind?
I don't know.
What's up with that? Okay, well, then the other thing I want to try, because I told you I'm hungry.
Well, hold on, before we get to that, and then bouncing off of our previous life.
Okay, wait. If you are miserable and unhappy and stressed all the time, it's better to move forward. Every person should love his life and follow his passion. It is possible. Thank you. Okay, when Robert was very unhappy in engineering, I was loving teaching, right? I mean, I love teaching. That's the thing. I quit because I was stressed, but that wasn't because I didn't love teaching. I love teaching. It was because the bureaucracy of like the government telling me what to do in my classroom when they don't know what they're talking about, that bothered me. So the classroom was the only thing that saved me for years. So anyways, I loved my job. Robert didn't. Robert would ask his dad, and his dad would be like, well, everybody hates their job. And I'd have to say, no, that's not true. So the fact that when people say things like everybody hates their job, everybody complains about their wife, that's a bad thing. That's not true. I don't complain about my husband. I ain't got nothing negative to say.
You've got the most amazing person sitting next to you ever.
No, really, he is. In fact, I specifically don't talk about my husband to other women because I'm afraid they're gonna get jealous. So I just don't say anything. Like, they complain, and I'm like, yeah, it sucks.
You know, I could just see like the True Hollywood story is gonna come out 30 years from now and say,
Right.
They were a happy couple, and then
like the heart with
she
the broken
snapped.
snaps in a small town in Austin, Texas. I love snaps, by the way. But no, I mean, so anyways, yeah, it's like you tell yourself these lies, like everybody's miserable. Like that's a terrible world to live in. Is that true? So I think we need to change our standards, people. I agree with you. I agree with you, Lucas. If you're not happy in life, do something about it.
Word.
Like, don't eat the rest of this Gatorade bar.
I'll end up eating.
Okay, wait, we need to talk about what's in Genius Joy.
Yes.
Because I love it. It got me through Christmas one year.
Several
That's
years.
all I need to tell you.
2 years in a row, it's gotten us through.
That's all I need. Well, no, this is important. Wait, you didn't tell me about it the first Christmas. So when we go to Christmas, it's in New Orleans, and both of our families live in New Orleans, 30 minutes apart. So you can't like go back and forth within really one day because it's like it's like 45 minutes apart. So it's like you have to spend the equivalent amount of time with each set of family. And it's each set of family. And they both want quality time, which means if they both want 4 days, that's 8 days of family. So Robert takes Genius Joy without telling me about it. Like, I don't even know. And I can't understand why he is just fine. Like, we almost missed our flight. We had to pay in short-term parking for long-term parking. And he was just cool as a cucumber. And I couldn't figure out, like, why is he so calm? What is going on? And it wasn't until we got back that I was angry the entire trip and he was chill the entire trip. And he said, oh yeah, I was taking Genius Joy. I said, well, you want to share? You're not going to like spread the love? And so the next year I was like, you giving me that Genius Joy. We sharing. And so I think we almost ran out. And I said, yeah, I'm getting the last dose.
Yeah. So Rob from Genius Supplements hooked us up big time with that,
Oh my
with that
gosh.
bottle. So yeah, a huge thank you to him.
It also got me through a field trip. a sleepaway service trip in San Antonio where I was in charge of 10 high school students, boys and girls. Is sleeping on the floor and it got a Genius Joy. I was fine. So let's talk about what's in Genius Joy, because it's not that it makes me happy, it's that it helps me handle bad situations.
There's 5 or 6. I'm gonna see if I can remember the panel off the top of my head. So
do you want me to go get it?
You can. I mean, there's a gram.
I'll go get it.
There's a gram of 1,000 milligrams of SAMe in there. There is N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. There's 5-HTP. There's rhodiola. There is L-theanine, whole B complex vitamins, vitamin D, and there's also Neuro Factor, which is one of my favorite nootropic ingredients on the face of the planet. Highly underrated. Stimulates brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Gives you kind of like a stimulant kind of feeling in your brain without it being caffeine. So let's see how close I was. Oh, the only thing I missed was ginseng. Sweet. All right, so we got a full B complex, 1,000 IUs of vitamin D3, 1,000 milligrams of SAMe, 350 milligrams of N-acetyl-L-tyrosine, 300 milligrams of rhodiola, 5+. This is the branded form of rhodiola, which is 3% rosodins, 2% solidrosides, 250 milligrams Panax ginseng, 100 milligrams of 5-HTP, 100 milligrams of Neuro Factor, which is a full clinical dose, and 100 milligrams of Theacalm, which is the branded form of theanine.
What is that?
Did you take another bite? Why?
Is it the rosemary extract? I don't know what it is. There's something weird about it, and I wanted to figure out what it is, and I can't.
Yeah, Matt, this is the stuff. It's kind of pricey on Amazon. It's like $58 for this tub. There's 25 servings per container. 4 capsules is a full serving. I've never had to use a full serving in a day. I'll just take 2 capsules in the morning. Or saying I'll take 2 capsules. It keeps you going the rest of the day. So really, you're getting like 50 servings in here if you ever only use a half serving. I cannot recommend this stuff highly enough. No, I don't get endorsed or paid to say that or anything like this. I wish I did. You know, maybe I just need to reach out and say, hey, you guys need to sponsor me so I can just give you a tub of this.
I'm not gonna lie, I love
this stuff.
Wait, can I just say something?
Or I'll just come out with my own formula that's very close to this.
You know what bothers me is that
I'll just start selling on the Supplement Engineer site. We'll call it Sandy's Juice.
That sounds really gross. Can you call it something else? How about Sandy Sunshine?
Sandy Sunshine.
Sunshine. And so, okay, no, let me just tell you something. So for the field trip, I wanted to offer it to my my vice principal or my principal. I was like, she was coming with us, and I wanted to offer it to like other teachers, and all of them looked at me like I was offering them cocaine. I was like, hey guys, do you want to try some Genius Joy? And they're like, oh, I don't want. I was like, no, it's not like, oh, okay, well, no, it's just, no. I tried to give them a nootropic. I tried to give Wilkerson a nootropic. So I'm meeting with my department chair over the summer, and we're working, and I'm taking my drink, and he goes, yeah, no, I don't need that. I was like, no, it's really good. It like helps you see clearly. He's like, yeah, okay, you take your powder over there. I said, no, wait, why does everybody look at me like I'm crazy? So when I try to take a nootropic or I try to take Genius Joy or something like that, and then I offer it to another person, they do not understand that's not bad for you. I mean, I know those people take vitamins and fish oil, similar thing.
Why do you think there's such a stigma around dietary supplements?
There's not a stigma against dietary supplements. There's a stigma against nootropics or things that help you mentally, because I guess it's like mentally. There's not a stigma against a diet. If someone will be drinking like caffeine-free, whatever, or diet, whatever, but they have an issue with
these are all called dietary supplements, though. See, it says right there, dietary supplements.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Anything that makes you better, some people seem to think is not a good idea, which is weird.
Yeah. And for those of you listening, there's a full article that I wrote on the Supplement Engineer website about Neuro Factors. Since I've professed my love for it numerous times, but
that's in Genius Joy.
Yeah,
I like it,
and it's in a couple of other products. It's in actually this nootropic right here too, which is Cognisurge by Jack Factory.
Genius Joy. What I love about it is it doesn't make you happier. Okay, so I think that's important to say. It's not like it makes you happier, but what it does do is it doesn't piss you off. So like the thing,
it makes me happier.
It doesn't to me. Well, maybe because I'm already, I don't know. Yeah. But like, it doesn't give me a sunny outlook on life or anything. It's just what it does is it doesn't let me get to a negative point. Things that would bother me ordinarily don't bother me. It's like it just bounces off. I feel like I'm a superhero or something. Yeah. Like I still remember when we had to pay for short-term, it was like 3 times as expensive, by the way. If you're at an airport and you're putting your car in short-term parking versus long-term parking, you're gonna be there for 8 days and you're charged by the hour or whatever. It's like so much more expensive. Yeah. And he just went, oh, okay. And I remember thinking, what? Where did that come from? So it's just, it makes you more, I don't know, chill.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
what's
right.
up? Okay, good. I want to eat. I want to eat a
I know you're
brownie.
still hungry, so you've earned it.
Yeah, y'all. I gotta be honest. I tried the Gatorade bar again. I thought maybe I don't like it. There's something that coats my mouth when I'm done taking a bite.
This is the official.
I don't like it.
Official protein bar provider of the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB. I'm pretty sure.
What? Why did Gatorade get that market? They should give it something else.
I know. All right, so another deal that I found on TJ's website. I got 48 of these muscle brownies from Lenny and Larry's for $40 or something. I don't know if the deal is still up, but I ordered 4 cases of them because it was buy 4 boxes and spend $40 or whatever. So
we're gonna get some brownies.
This is their muscle brownie. So Lenny and Larry's is most well known for their complete cookie. It's now I always think of it as a protein cookie, but really
it's not really a protein cookie. It's like a cookie.
It's like 350 calories.
Yeah.
And there's only 18 grams of protein in it.
So, I mean, I feel like it's like an indulgence. Like it's like a sweet indulgence that has what I like to think of those things as, right? Like the 350 calorie, but 18 grams of protein, like a candy bar that gives you some protein, right? It's not like when I eat a candy bar, when I eat M&Ms,
and
I'm not looking for nutrition.
And it tastes like shit.
By the way, a bag of M&Ms, because I ate one yesterday, is 250 calories. And I thought, whoa, that's a lot of calories for 3 grams of protein. So if I can spend 250 calories with 20 grams of protein, then I feel like it's a win-win in my head. I'm still getting the indulgence.
Right.
But I meant a little bit of protein.
For our ingredients, we've got a protein blend of whey protein concentrate and isolate, chocolate chunks, and 4,000 different stabilizers, sweeteners, fillers, all that kind of stuff. Vegetable glycerin, soy protein isolate, margarine, soybean oil, water, salt, whey, monodiglyceride, soybean lecithin, natural butter flavor, beta carotene, soluble corn fiber, water, cocoa, sugar, salt, baking soda, vanilla, almonds, peanuts, corn syrup solids, wheat flour, and wheat starch.
It's got peanuts, everybody. Watch out.
And so this is the triple chocolate brownie flavor. We've got 250 calories per brownie, 10 grams of protein.
Oh, it's only 10 grams of protein?
I'm sorry, 10 grams of fat.
Oh.
25 grams of carbohydrates, 5 grams of fiber, 9 grams of sugar, 20 grams of protein.
See, that's fine.
And to up the healthy factor here, at the very top, it says a regular 40-gram brownie has 14 grams of sugar or more. Lenny and Larry's has only 6.
Okay, well,
actually,
obviously,
that's not even true, though, because this says it has 9 grams of sugar. Maybe they mean added sugar.
Okay, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, when I eat something like this, I'm thinking of it as an indulgence plus protein. I don't think of it as a protein bar with calories.
Yeah.
I think we have to set our mindset for these things. You know what I mean? If I want protein, I'm gonna eat a breast of chicken. All right, I'm excited. I'm really hungry. Stop showing it. Sorry, I just want to eat it, guys. I'm sorry.
Somebody's hungry. This is why we don't make Sandy go a long time without food. She gets very, very hungry.
That's very chocolatey.
How does it taste compared to a regular packaged brownie? Obviously, it's not going to be as tasty as a brownie you get fresh from the oven. So, but what are like those prepackaged brownies that stack?
The ones with those sprinkles on top that are like hard and colorful. You know what I'm talking about? The two that stack together and the little. That's exactly what it tastes like. Like exactly. You put some sprinkles on this. It's really dark, and can I just say something? It's the exact same texture as those brownies. If you've ever eaten those, what are those called? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's not like brownies from a store. It's like in the package section. There's 2 that have like an indentation where you're supposed to break it. Yeah. And they usually have these thick colored sprinkles on top. It's in a separated package.
Man, that's
exactly what it tastes like. I'm 100% okay with this. What do you think?
I'll eat it. I
you don't like it?
It's okay.
Do you like those packaged brownies of which I am speaking?
Not really.
Well, then that's why. If you like those brownies.
Man, both of these are kind of.
No.
I mean, I
like this.
I will eat it.
I like this a lot.
But it's not. I don't like the texture of it. I don't think.
It's because it's the exact same texture as those fake brownies.
I would almost rather eat these really shitty.
No, this is delicious, and it's not too sweet. I really, really like it. It's super dark.
Well, yeah, I like the chocolate taste of it. I don't like the texture of it.
I love the texture. Okay, you know what I mean? Oh my God, M&M's released a protein bar. Did it really?
Mars and Snickers released protein bars too, but in Europe, not here in America, for whatever fucking reason. I don't know.
Why are we? That doesn't make any sense. Well, this is delicious. What are you talking about? But I guess it's because you don't like the fake brownies.
Right. Yeah.
This doesn't taste like a homemade brownie by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, like it's never going to do that.
It's like a compressed puck of protein and
chocolate. Exactly. Yeah. It's one of those compressed, chewy.
That's the same problem I have with all the protein cookies out there. Like the Sin Fits weren't really good. Those whatever those New Zealand ones that we tried years ago, and you almost threw up on camera when we ate those. Protein cookies, by and large, do not taste good.
This is delicious. No, it tastes exactly like the thing. Okay, put it this way. You know those donuts, like in the bag, like the white
powdered sugar.
The white powdered sugar donuts, or the chocolate coated ones.
Yeah.
They don't taste like a donut.
No.
Oh, a real one. But I'm not expecting it to. So if you grew up on those donuts, and then someone came out with a protein donut that tasted exactly like one of those, I would see that being a success. Well, this literally, I could package this and hide it in one of those things, give it to they wouldn't know the difference. They taste exactly like those other ones. And those other ones make a ton of money, but this one actually has protein in it. I support these. It's like junk food, but with protein. You're welcome.
So a little over a month ago, we did a donut power hour.
We did do a donut power hour.
I crushed it.
He did. He was the best.
Crushed it.
Why don't you tell everybody what a donut power hour is?
Okay, so the way I heard this is that you buy a dozen donuts, you take a bite of a donut every minute on the minute for 60 minutes. So that's the power hour.
Well,
and
ultimately, you finish a donut every 5 minutes.
A donut every 5 minutes. Yeah. Instead of doing that, I just thought, so we got together, me, Sandy, my sister, and her husband. We did a Zoom power hour one Sunday morning, probably 5 weeks ago. And we just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to sit here and look every minute and take a bite. Just go. We're going to set the timer. You have 1 hour to eat 12 donuts.
Yeah.
I finished in 50 minutes, and I probably could have finished in 45 because I just slowed down at the end on purpose. But I felt amazing.
And you just went for the straight glazed. It's important to specify.
Glazed. Well, you did cake donuts, which actually, if you look on the donut website, were actually less calories.
They were less calories. I thought I was being strategic, but they don't taste as good, and you don't want to eat 12 of those. Like, oh my God, here's the thing. I got to 10. And on the 11th donut, I had this great idea. What if I shove it in my mouth? Just like shove it in my mouth. The problem is, at your 11th donut in an hour, it just rolled around in my mouth. I mean, it just stayed in my mouth for 5 minutes. I just kept chewing it, and I'm like, I couldn't get myself to swallow it. I just spit out the goo. I was like, I'm done. It's over. So the goal, by the way, if you're ever gonna do it, which by the way, it's asinine to do it. There's no reason to do a donut power hour, by the way. It was Robert's idea, but it didn't make any sense.
I had fun.
By the way, if you're curious, everybody did it except me. I couldn't do it. Yeah. It's fine though. But what I'm saying is the goal, take small bites. That's the way to do it. Don't do a big bite. It's a terrible idea. Do lots of small bites and probably just do glazed. Everybody else did just glazed. I did cake donuts and I had one with sprinkles.
There you go.
I have like a variety pack.
My question would be, if we were to do another power hour and we did donuts, or you had to eat 12 donuts or eat 12 of those brownies.
Brownies. Ooh, actually, I don't know the texture. That would get me after a while. Ooh.
I think the protein would probably be more filling too within the
it'd be tough.
the donuts. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are each like 250 calories. A donut's only like 180
calories. 180 to 200, depending on what
y'all, that counts. That adds up after a while.
12 of them, yeah, that extra 50
do
calories.
Math. That means something. So, P.S.
Mars, Snickers, Bounty, Twix, all protein.
That is so crazy. They actually have protein bars for those?
Yeah.
For Twix and stuff?
Yeah. That's because the Mars company, which owns a bunch of those, actually is based in the EU somewhere.
That's so cool.
Britain, maybe?
That's so cool.
Don't hold me to that. I don't remember where.
Okay, well, I just think that's cool. Good to
know. One thing we were talking about on the Final Scoop. So for everybody listening, Lucas is one of the members of our Final Scoop podcast.
From Poland.
My Polish brother from another mother that was kind enough to send us the Zubroka and all the other good stuff. My question is, we were talking about pre-workouts that consistently hit for you. And what do you think just without you knowing all about the intricacies of pre-workouts and how they work in the body?
Thank you, I need that.
What do you think causes it one day to the next? Is where you have your favorite pre-workouts that you'll take, and I'll give them to you, and you know how they're going to hit. Yeah. Other days, I will give you a pre-workout, and one time it will work really well for you, and another time it won't.
Yeah.
Do you think that's falls more on you? Do you think it's maybe some inconsistencies in the manufacturing of the product, or is it a combination of factors?
I don't think a pre-workout will help me in any way, shape, or form if I'm not in the mood to work out.
Mm-hmm. If
I'm not in the mindset, it's not going to help me. So I think I've tried in the past to have that dude like, oh, I don't feel like working out. Hurry up and give me a pre-workout, and maybe it won't work. I'll maybe start to warm up, and then I don't feel like doing this. Just go watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
for me, I need to be in the right mindset. But after the mindset thing, if I'm thinking about a pre-workout, I do think actually it's the way it affects me. I think it's the way it affects me, right? So like, if it makes me feel like I can do an extra rep, or if it makes me excited to do, like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes pre-workouts make me feel in the zone, and I feel like I can do more than I otherwise would if I didn't have anything in me. It's like it motivates me.
Okay, so
it takes me to a next level.
Building off of that, do you think it would then be more important for pre-workouts to focus more on optimizing the energy and focus matrix and like the mood thing than actually trying to put, not even pumps, but even just like performance things that we might have 1 or 2 studies saying it helps you get an extra rep or something like that? Do you think it's more about getting the mentality and the mindset right?
100%. I think it's a waste of time for people to spend time. I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. This is just me. This is just me speaking from experience. The more I work out, the more I realize how mental it is. It's not physical, it's mental. And so I think that pre-workouts would be better served being like a nootropic and making you focused and happy and energized than the pumps or the caffeine or whatever it is that you're talking about. Like, cause I don't know all that.
Yeah.
I don't need it to adjust my blood or my glucose or whatever. I need it to make me want to work out.
Mm-hmm. So if basically all you would need is a nootropic, then you don't actually need a pre-workout or anything like that. Just some caffeine, some other things to get you, cognitively on fire and feeling happy, and you'd be fine. You don't care about the pumps or the endurance boosters
But that's me. What if it's somebody who loves working out? Well, then that part's already taken care of. Right. Then they might want the body thing.
Yeah.
That's where I think science is more about individual preference. It's like style. Mm-hmm. They just have their own kind of whatever.
Kind of feel with it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Do you think flavor at all plays a part in the perception that a pre-workout is hitting harder? So if you have a sour thing versus something that's really super sweet versus something that's more just kind of like neutral or naturally flavored?
It's a really good question. No, personal preference.
Personal preference again. Some people enjoy like the super sickly sweet things, and other people.
Yeah.
See, I like a tart pre-workout, and I like some kind of like tart or refreshing intro workout. I don't want something super sweet when I'm drinking it, because that's going to get me more like a relaxed, like dessert kind of mindset, or like relaxation kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
something
tart that's going to kind of like wake you up.
What is
refreshing?
What is it? Sometimes you've given me like a really sweet intro.
Yeah.
And I make you put mushroom in it. So that it
end up putting Pico 2 in it or some other kind of mushroom blend here that we've got.
So it makes it more bitter and like takes away the sweetness.
Earthy.
Like, put some mushroom in that. I need to fix that. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, guys, as a reminder, we'll stay on as long as y'all have questions. Post them up. If it doesn't post up, we have this issue every week with me and Steve doing this, and we've had it a little bit with Sandy in the past. Post your questions on the side. If it seems like we're ignoring you, we're not. It's just that YouTube is something stupid on the back end where it skips questions sometimes. So if you do have them, do that. Otherwise, what is going to be your game plan for when school starts as far as your
workout?
Yeah, because you're either going to be training first thing in the morning, or
no, that's it.
Late in the afternoon. And so, what are you going to do as far as? Do you feel like you need a pre-workout in the
That's the thing. I asked you last time. Like, oh man, I got to start switching my workout to the morning, and I'm not used to doing that. Like, what do I do if it's a morning workout? Do I need a pre-workout? Like right when you wake up, do I need to be shooting up some caffeine and stuff? And you had said no, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Lately, the past mornings that I've been working out, I pop a Genius Joy. And that's my pre-workout. And then when I go to work, I just take coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Genius Joy doesn't have caffeine, does it?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't have any caffeine.
It's got a bunch of adaptogens and things. That
it just saves me from being in a bad mood. So yeah, no, I think. Now, can I take Genius Joy every day?
You could.
I've never done that before.
No, I mean,
I've only done it when I felt like I needed it.
Going through the ingredient panel, there's nothing in here that really jumps out saying you shouldn't take it every day. I think it's probably best to cycle everything for most things, especially with nootropics, just because every kind of time you take a nootropic, it's altering your neurochemistry to some degree. It's going to either upregulate, downregulate, change receptors, densities, and things like that. So it's probably a good habit too. And if this is something that you need to take every day, that means
again, we need to rethink our lifestyle.
Right. So, and I believe the clinical trials that have been done on SAM-E, which is kind of like the main mood enhancing compound in here, I believe I think they've used a year-long trial or something in patients with depressive symptoms. But still, I would still recommend cycling it.
See, I just get bothered by that. Like, okay, so people with depression syndromes or people with high blood pressure, there's all these medications, and I feel like that bothers me because there's always side effects to medications too. So you're just like giving people medications, which I think is different than a supplement.
I mean, just because something's natural doesn't mean it's perfectly healthy for you. Plenty of natural things have side effects. Arsenic is natural.
Okay.
That has a side effect. Hemlock is natural, but it'll kill you. So I mean, just because and it seems like there's a constant back and forth between pharmaceuticals and supplements. And I understand both sides of the thing. The supplement people
because your
will say,
sister is a pharmacist,
right? And the supplement side says, oh, well, we're all natural. We're occurring in nature. We're not paid off by big pharma and all of these things.
Yeah.
But on the other side, pharmaceuticals go through extremely rigorous testing compared to what dietary supplements do. They have to go through government review boards. Millions and millions and millions of dollars, almost billions sometimes, are put into developing pharmaceuticals.
So how you feel about that for supplements?
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at something that has been much more thoroughly tested than something that.
But I think it's lazy. Okay. So for instance, sometimes we went through a phase where you listen to podcasts all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're constantly up to date on whatever's out there. Okay, you listen to tons of podcasts. Mm-hmm. And what is it? One time we couldn't go to sleep, so I would say, "Can you just play your podcast?" And I'll just go to sleep because it's not interesting enough for me personally. I don't know enough about it to it doesn't wake me up. It kind of puts me to sleep to hear the voices. And one time they were talking about statins, which I didn't even know what that word meant, by the way, because I'm just like, so it's something used to lower blood pressure,
cholesterol.
Or cholesterol.
Cholesterol lowering.
See, I don't even know, but it was used to do something.
Yeah.
Now your podcast, I don't even remember if you remember which people it were, but they were talking about how statins aren't necessary. It's almost like they don't need to exist because if people would just be physically fit and eat healthy, they wouldn't need it. And I remember as I was falling asleep, thinking those people talking about the physically fit people not needing cholesterol medicine or whatever, they were full of poo. I was like, yeah, but they don't know what it's like to be a normal person. They're like fit people. They don't count. And I fell asleep. And then I woke up and I remembered thinking that and I thought, wait. They're just people that take care of themselves. Wait, can't everyone take care of themselves? Isn't that actually possible for everyone to take care of themselves? So in reality, you shouldn't have cholesterol medicine for people because all they got to do is change their lifestyle. But instead of changing their lifestyle, and instead of recommending that they change their lifestyle, you just give them a pill. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that's weird? I don't know. I'm not probably thinking of it too.
No, I don't think you should ever take a pill just to solve an issue. There's a larger thing, and that's why we always try to look for those exercise things in a pill or supplements. Come say this is an exercise in a pill, and that's not true. I mean,
but there are healthy individuals. They exist.
Right. But
they're not supernatural. They're not Avengers. Yeah. They're not from another planet.
And
they just make good choices.
Take this on a side tangent real quick.
Okay, side tangent.
The cholesterol thing is a very complex issue. Some individuals just genetically have high cholesterol.
Okay, that's different.
At the same time, we don't really know the entire story on cholesterol yet. Now, there are some associational studies showing high cholesterol levels have adverse outcomes and adverse cardiovascular events, things like that.
Okay.
So at the same time, there's a constant back and forth saying, yes, HDL is the good cholesterol, LDL is the bad cholesterol, but is it having high LDL cholesterol that bad if your HDL is
really high,
comparatively high too? What's a better marker? Is it
low LDL or high HDL?
Right.
Okay.
Because we're also just getting over the thing where eating dietary cholesterol doesn't impact blood cholesterol
that
for
confused
most people.
Me. Right. I thought it did.
Because we weren't supposed to eat shrimp, we weren't supposed to eat egg yolks
Cheese.
and all that other stuff. Cheese, yeah. You're not supposed to eat all of these things because it artificially raises your cholesterol levels. But
now
that's
you're
why
saying,
you had the low-fat diet craze in the early 90s.
But now you're saying it's not.
Right. Yeah. Dietary cholesterol does not impact blood cholesterol levels.
It's confusing.
Yeah. If anything, your body will start producing less as you're consuming more of it. But it's constantly in flux. And I think somebody to go check out for all of you out there is Dave Feldman.
Dave Feldman
he's very heavy into the cholesterol research. I'm not going to pretend to know everything about it at all or give recommendations. Interestingly enough, since you brought up statins, red yeast rice extract has a compound in it called lovastatin. Which is cholesterol lowering. And so they banned red yeast rice extracts from the market because they developed these statin drugs. And since it had the statin thing.
Wait a minute. They banned something natural that does something similar that a prescription costing pill does?
Probably because there are a bunch of really shitty red yeast rice extracts on the market. And that may have led to some adverse reactions in individuals, which is part of the problem, which brings us back to the point we're saying.
You do need pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. they go through more rigorous testing than dietary supplements.
It's confusing
head to head. So yeah, it's not a black and white issue.
Right.
So that's why you can't use the natural argument fallacy. That's just because something's natural is not always better. Like stevia is natural, but it's got some animal data, I believe, showing it leads to decrements in testosterone levels, and it's actually more dangerous than the non-natural sweeteners like sucralose, ACE-K, saccharin.
What is sweet and low? Because that was always my favorite when I was
Saccharin.
little. Saccharin. Okay. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's been tested 1,000 times.
Well, I remember when I was really, really little, someone told me, like one of my little, I'm talking about when I was in kindergarten kind of thing. And like one of my little kindergarten friends told me that sweet and low killed rats because they gave them a bunch of it. And I remember saying, well, I mean, if I gave a rat a bunch of anything, wouldn't it kill it? Like, I mean, I feel like it's fine. Like, I don't think I'm okay. So I feel like when somebody does those studies and they say it's deadly, it's like, yeah, but you're giving them like a toxic amount. Water is toxic if you give them too much. I mean, to be fair.
Right. And so one of the weird things, a couple of years ago, they came out with a study showing that sucralose, with the thing that's in Splenda, disrupts gut bacteria in humans.
There we go again.
They did. They took a bunch of overweight people who already have disrupted gut microbiomes, took their stool, extracted the bacteria from that, then implanted it into the rats, then megadosed the rats with sucralose.
Wait, they gave poop to rats?
No, they took the bacteria out from that and then injected it into the rat's stomachs to simulate a human culture. And then they jacked up the rats with a bunch of sucralose, and they said, then they saw the changes in the bacteria from the sucralose. I'm thinking, how fucking relevant is that to a human gut? I mean, let me take 1 can of diet soda a day that's sweetened with Splenda, track me for 5 years and see how that does.
Yeah.
I mean, don't pull some bacteria off my poop, stick it into a rat, and then megadose the rat with sucralose. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but that's anything for a headline, and that kind of brings us back full circle to what we were talking about in the beginning, where you're doing anything for a headline and putting out articles to try and get attention for people, and that's why there's so much misinformation and noise, and it's hard to understand what the actual signal is that's trying to get through.
Yeah, I think it's confusing for people.
It can be very confusing.
I think it's hard to find facts.
Yeah.
And that bothers me as a math person because I feel like there should always be facts. I mean, I understand there's a place for opinions. I get that. But then there really should be facts out there. And I feel like people don't have facts anymore. I feel like everything's almost everything's biased now. It's really frustrating.
Attention in your eyeballs. Either it's Google search page is trying to get, rank on there, and you're getting bombarded by ads.
It's weird.
News outlets are going with salacious headlines just to try and entice you to click and all that stuff. So it's just the actual journalism and research is few and far between.
If you watch All the President's Men, the Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman movie from like the 70s or whatever. Yeah. 75. And you watch the opening like 20 minutes. You're thinking, wow, they haven't published it yet? That's weird, because that would have been published like right now. Like
somebody would have instituted
Somebody would have already done it. And then you watch the whole movie before they finally print something, and you're thinking, is that how it used to be done? And it did. They used to have to do a lot more before they could just print whatever. Like now you can print whatever somebody says. Yeah. And that counts as news. But what bothers me though is like the lacrosse players, right? Yeah, the Duke lacrosse team, if you look at it, they didn't actually rape anybody, but somebody said they did, and then the papers ran that they did, and then they never did. And so it's like I can say Duke lacrosse team, and everybody's like, oh, the rapers. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't rape anybody. That's really frustrating, because as a teacher, I'm hyper aware of if like a girl student says that a male teacher just did anything to her, and he didn't. That could ruin his career for the rest of his life. Like that, even if it's not true. Like that bothers me that news isn't more, like at least one news station or 2 or 3 have to be responsible. I mean, I get the Twitter thing, but like, couldn't somebody go through All the President's Men hoops before they publish something? But I guess it just takes too long.
It does.
I don't know. It's weird.
That's what's disappointing.
That's why I'm like waiting almost for the internet, somebody to like hack the internet and just close everything. And everyone's going to go, except the Amish. They're going to go, what happened? What? Did something happen?
Keep churning.
I don't notice anything. I'm just churning my butter like I always have. Has something changed? I always wonder about the Amish people. Like, man, they're just super cool. Everything's fine. They don't know.
They're up in Pennsylvania, or that's quick.
Wherever it is. They're just
we're
chilling.
moving to Montana in a couple of years and getting out of this.
Let's move to Montana.
We're going. That's where we're going. Soon. If we just,
I know. It's me. He works from home. We can move anywhere. It's me. It's because I like my school. Sorry.
That's all right.
For now.
So
time to go?
It is time to go. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us as always on these Wednesday chat sessions. It's a blast. If you like these, leave us a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up. Tell your friends, family, and loved ones about this. Have them join in on the fun, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.